Hey Jaime, how's it going? Elliot here from Drumeo. Thank you so much for your submission for student review. Man, I had the pleasure of checking it out, and all right, let's get to it. Okay, so man, what a ride. So I can't even describe this. You're playing along to Pneuma by Tool, and honestly, this is a phenomenal submission. Now, you're tackling a track that it's not only musically deep, but rhythmically intense, right? So playing along to anything that Danny Carey has written takes some serious chops, some serious focus, and a ton of musical awareness. And you show every single aspect in your playing. Now, there's so much happening. The transitions from the 6/8 to the 5/8, and then the couple bars of 3/8, they're just enough to throw even experienced players out, but you clearly put the time to internalize all these changes and the transitions. So, and you're not just playing the parts, you build your muscle memory around them. So that's not a small thing. That's a very difficult aspect and a very professional mindset of a drummer. Now, I want to also highlight how tight and how confident you are just with the details on your hi-hats, the ghost notes. Your phrasing is super clean, and you're riding the pocket while still capturing the feel of that tune. Now, that balancing between that technical precision and musical expression, you're doing incredible. Jaime, that's amazing. Now, with that being said, in your submission, you mentioned that you wanted to improve and work on your dynamics. And honestly, you're doing a solid job in that department. If anything, maybe we could look for a little more subtlety during the verses, okay? Just to contrast those bigger moments when the song opens up, but that's a detail that comes naturally with more practice, and spend more time with the music, and in this case with the song, because I know this is a 11-something minute song, and you only shared a couple minutes with it. Now, the other thing that you mentioned was your footwork. Your footwork looks great, and it sounds great. You're clearly super comfortable with what you're playing. You know, that said, to keep leveling up, I'm going to point you to a couple things, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to point you towards, it's one of my favorite courses inside Drumeo, which is with Gil Sharon, an incredible drummer who's played with some of my favorite bands like Dillinger Escape Plan. He developed a course with us called Walk Before You Can Run, Developing Control in Your Foot. Now, this is one of my favorite courses, and it's all about being able to develop more control on what our feet are doing and being able to express it with our kicks. Now, with that being said, you'll also find another couple recommendations in the email where you find the link to this video. But man, I'm seriously impressed with what you're doing. Now, when it comes to your playing itself, I wish I could give you things that are not there, parts and elements of the song that are not there. You know, so maybe in your next submission, it will be good to submit something that pushes you outside of your comfort zone, something that you're not good with, okay? That will allow us to judge and criticize, in a good way, of course, your drumming, okay? Because in this instance, what you're playing, you're nailing it. There's no other way around it. I have to admit, I shared the link with a couple people from my team because I was stunned. I was just like, wow, Jaime is a fantastic drummer, and he's playing to Tool. There's not many. If I was to say out of 10 drummers, how many people can play along to Tool comfortably, I would say maybe 1 out of 10. That will be my guess. Now, again, so it will be awesome if in your next submission, you could just send us something that you're not comfortable with, something that you struggle with. Okay, so we can really dig in and try to find ways to help you progress with that. But until then, in the email where you find the link to this video, again, I am linking you to a few lesson recommendations that I dug, that I thought that will be good for the level that you demonstrated in your submission. Okay, now with that being said, Jaime, my name is Ale. Let me know if you have any questions by just replying to the email that you received. Y te veo en tu próximo student review. Que estés muy bien.